Hi, and welcome to the second devlog for Alio. I've got quite a lot done this week. I worked on a new enemy, made some new mechanics, and even got started on the first boss. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. It's around 11 o'clock on Monday, and I just finished editing and uploading my last video. I took a quick break to play some Minecraft Skywars, and now I think I'm ready to get back to work on the game. At the end of last week's devlog, I wrote an enemy AI system, but it was a bit rushed and it's already causing a lot of bugs, so I think my first task is going to be to go through and redo it with a bit more care. I've been doing quite a bit of research to try and find a better way to do state machines, and with some help from the Game Dev League Discord, I found a video by Weimann which explains what looks like a pretty good way to implement it. I've started trying to get it working, but it seems kind of complicated and I think I'm going to leave it for the morning, so that's all for Monday. So I've been doing quite a bit more work on the enemies, and I finished the tutorial I was talking about last night, so I've started to re-implement the enemies that I had before with this new code. And it works so much better and it fixes all the problems that I had with my own system. It's just a lot cleaner, easier to read and easier to extend as well. So I'm really happy that I spent the time to try and get this right. As you can see, Shravon has most of his behaviors back. I've not got the one where he gets hurt yet, but I'll move on to that in a second. And yeah, it's just a lot more stable, I think. Hello, it is now 7 o'clock on Wednesday, and the reason I haven't done that many updates is because I've just been working on re-implementing everything I had with the old system back in with the new system. So you can't really tell anything has changed just by looking at it, but you'll just have to trust me when I say that it's running a lot more smoothly. It basically works just by splitting everything off into different classes. So there's one state machine class which handles transitioning between states and creating states. Then there is an enemy class which I can use to basically set up those transitions. For example, when player is hit, switch to hurt state or whatever else I want in there. Then there are separate classes for every state the enemy can be in. So there's an angry class, a patrol class, etc, etc. And then in each of those classes I can code whatever logic I want them to have when in those states. As I said, you can't really tell a difference straight away, but it's just a lot better and more optimized, so thank you to Weimann. Now, I think it's time to put this new system to the test, so I'm going to create a whole new flying enemy for the game and see how that turns out. So I just got finished drawing a new sprite and using a Braku's tutorial and the A-Star pathfinding project to create some basic pathfinding for the flying enemy. So now I just need to look at how I'm going to get it to work with my current enemy system, and then we should be good to go. So to get started with that, I added a bool called generate, which will basically change whether the paths are generating or not and make it go to the last available waypoint if it's switched off. So that should help with transitioning back to idle state. Then I've started work on a few animations, but that's all I have time for today, so I'm going to continue working on it tomorrow. It's now Thursday, and I've been working on the new enemy for about an hour now, and it's going really well. I've implemented pathfinding properly into the AI system, and it's all working fairly decently. I'd say it's around 75% done, because there's still quite a few bugs and glitches I need to work out, but once I'm finished with that, then the next enemy will be ready to go. So I'm now finished with the new enemy, and I think it works pretty well. It's pretty fun. It definitely gives more of an idea of what the game's going to feel like. It makes it feel a bit more fleshed out. So I sent it to one of my friends for playtesting. So what did you think of the game?
I hated every second of it.
The next thing I'm going to work on is the first ability for the game. And I've actually done quite a bit of planning for this. I've drawn a big sheet with all the ability ideas I could come up with, and I'm just going to pick and choose from that and come up with a good order for them. So the first ability that I'm going to add to the game is the glide, and it's inspired by Super Mario Bros. On the Wii U. So in that game you could pick up a squirrel suit and then glide along. But I'm going to try and make it a bit more high speed, and eventually the end goal is you're going to be able to chain all the abilities in the game together and basically be able to fly over enemies and do cool air combos and stuff to add a lot more verticality. So that should be fun. So I've been working on the glide for a little while now, and it actually feels really good. I've added some animations and made the player rotate to wherever they are traveling, and this is the result. It could make the game too easy, so I have to either design some level elements to make that not a problem or adjust the values a bit, but all that will have to be done with a bit of playtesting. At the moment though, it still feels pretty skill based. It's really easy to take damage when you're gliding around, and it's quite hard to land on platforms. It takes a bit of practice, so I think I'm keeping it like this for the moment. It's now Friday and I've got quite a lot done today. I finished scene switching, which I said I was going to work on yesterday. So basically you can hit a point in the level that will teleport you to another scene and play some animations for walking in and walking out. I think it works pretty well, although I'm not sure how functional the positioning is, as at the moment you have to specify a position for the player to go to in the next scene, and it might be more efficient to specify a scene switch point to teleport to, so I'll have to think about that, but I'm not sure. I have also started work on drawing some of the art for the first boss, who I've called Glope. And I think it looks pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along, so I'll be working on that more over the next couple of weeks. And the last thing I did this week was this quick little sketch of what the first area is going to look like. It's a first draft, but if anyone's interested in finding out a bit about how the first area is going to go, then there's this. So that was everything that I got done this week for Alio. There won't be any devlog next week because I won't be able to use my computer, but I'll be doing a lot of planning on paper, so I'll still be working on the game as much as I can. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.